I'm Angela Walters from Quilting is My Therapy, and I have just one question for you. Are you ready for a challenge? You know, to get better at free motion quilting, you have to practice. But practicing is so much more fun when you're doing it with friends. And that's why I've started my first ever machine quilting challenge. That's right, the Free Motion Challenge Quilting Along. So quilt along with me, you'll improve your free motion skills, cheer on other quilters, and even have the chance to win prizes. And the best thing about the Quilting Along, it's absolutely free. Zilch, nada, nothing. You don't have to pay to participate, and there are no required products. All you have to do is quilt along with me. So, let me show you how it works. This is the quilt that I'll be working on during the quilt along. Every week, I'm going to release videos that show you how to quilt 2 of the squares. After the video comes out, I want you to practice quilting, and then I want you to share what you're up to. That way other people can cheer you on, and you can cheer on others as well. So share it on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Just use the hashtag FreeMotionChallenge so that I can see it. And every week, I'm going to pick some of those lucky pictures to win prizes. That's right, I know how to motivate quilters. It's with free stuff. If you want to quilt along with me on the same exact quilt, I have a free quilt pattern that you can make it, or you can buy the kit, which includes the fabric for the top and the binding. It's up to you. But do you have to have the quilt to start? Definitely not. You can quilt on a quilt that you already have laying around. You can use a quilt sandwich. Slap 2 pieces of fabric together and call it good, just so that you practice. So you don't have to make it, but you can if you want. All the information, by the way, is going to be in the description box below. There are a couple things that you'll need, and most likely those are things that you already have. First of all, you're going to need a machine. That's right, all the designs are going to be demonstrated on my home sewing machine. Okay, I know all my long armers out there just groaned. Don't worry, it doesn't matter what kind of machine you have. You can quilt along on your long arm, your big sewing machine, your little machine, your machine at home, the one in your RV, whatever it is. Just quilt on it. So you're gonna need your sewing machine and your free motion quilting foot. Now there's some different feet out there, of course. You might have one that looks like this with an open toe. That's great. You might have a closed toe foot. That's fine as well. Or you might have something like this. Which foot should you use? The one that you have. If you've got both, well, try them both out. Next thing you're gonna need is a needle. I prefer to use titanium needles because they're a little stronger. When we're quilting, especially when we're learning, and I'm not going to call it user error, we're just going to say as you get more comfortable working throughout that process, you might put a little bit more stress on your needle than normal. So getting a nice quality, strong needle will work. What size needle should you use? I'm so glad you asked. It depends. It really just depends on the type of thread that you use. Speaking of thread, you're going to need that as well. When you're picking out thread for your quilting, get a good quality thread. It's going to save you so many heartaches in the end. A strong, good quality thread is going to stand up to the pressure and that high-speed machine quilting. Now, I'm going to use Aurifil 50 weight, which I love 50 weight because it blends into the top. And if I were quilting this for myself or for a customer or somebody else, I would probably use a thread color that blends. So maybe a light white or a light pink. But since I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, I'm going to use a slightly contrasting thread. I'm actually going to use this blue. So that's going to help us see a little bit more. Now, those are the things that you have to get started. There are a few products that I like to use that make it easier, but you don't have to have them. I'm just going to share with you so that you can see what I'm going to be using through the next 8 to 10 weeks when we work through this. First up, I'm going to use my Supreme slider. I cannot quilt without this thing. What I love about it is it lays in the bed of the sewing machine, gives me a nice smooth surface so that the quilt glides through easier. And I'm also going to use gloves. So I love gloves, especially when I'm working on a larger quilt. This quilt is about 56 by 72 if I remember correctly, so I'm going to be using gloves. What those do, they really help me grab onto that quilt and have control. So I'm going to be using, well, not these ones, these are just pretty ones. I'm going to be using my dingy used ones, but that's okay, I still love you. I love how they have the grippy tips so that I can hold onto the quilt, but it doesn't make my hands sweaty, which is nice. Plus, it feels very professional when I put my gloves on. It means some fun quilting is getting ready to happen. Some other things, we're going to be using some marking tools. So I don't often mark my designs. What that means is I'm not going to sit there and mark the whole meander out. You can if you'd like, but I do like to use stencils like this. This is a Designs with Lines stencil, because what it does is it helps me mark registration lines. We'll be seeing this in a future episode where I lay it over the quilt block and then use my pounce pad to easily mark it just by rubbing it right on top. And the chalk comes in white or blue depending on the fabric color that you're using. And I'm going to be working with rulers. Ooh, I'm so excited. Here's the thing. When I release each video, it's going to show you how to quilt 2 blocks. One block is going to be a basic free motion design. For instance, a basic meander, swirls, leaves, all those fun designs that you've probably been wanting to master. The second block is going to show a technique plus the free motion quilting. So maybe rulers in free motion quilting or using the basic design in a slightly different way. My hope is that no matter where you are in your free motion journey, whether you're new and don't have any bad habits or experienced with all your bad habits, that you'll find designs and techniques that work for you. And that's going to include rulers. So if you have a ruler, get it ready. If you have a ruler foot, go ahead and pull it out. If you don't worry about it. Again, you don't have to have any of these products to get started. Just giving you a little teeny hint as to what we're going to see as we move on. So now, that is a lot of information. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk. If you scroll down after the video's over, there's going to be a description box. And in the description box, it has links to everything. It has links to the products that you're seeing, to the free pattern. It also has links to an email newsletter. So if you want, you can always come onto YouTube and get the videos for the quilting along. Or if you want them delivered directly to your email, you can sign up for the newsletter. And every week, I'll send out the video as well as quilting diagrams, pictures that show you exactly what the quilting looks like, and as well as any tips or variations. I have put a lot of thought and a lot of work into this, and I know you're going to love it. When do we start? In just a week. So in 1 week, I'll be releasing the next video, which will start with these 2 blocks, and then every week after that. Now the videos will stay on YouTube, so if you're not ready to start right now, you've got a lot of stuff going on, no worries, they'll be there. You can catch up with us whenever you're ready. I am super excited. This is going to be an amazing time, and you're gonna get better at free motion quilting just by practicing. So get your stuff together, and I'll see you in our next video. Happy quilting. So, are you ready to get started? It's gonna be so fun. Make your quilt top, or grab your 2 pieces of fabric, baste them together if you're using a sewing machine with the method that you prefer. I'm using a fusible batting because that's how I prefer to baste. In fact, I've already got my quilt sandwich basted and ready to go. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or better yet, join the Facebook group and post it there. I'm gonna do my best to see every question that comes up, so please be patient with me. So let me show you what we're gonna do. Here I have the official quilt of the Quilting Along. Every week, I'll release a video that shows you how to quilt 2 of the squares in the quilt.